Hey, Johnny.
How are you?
I'm good.
All right.
105, they say?
105, yes. Yeah, started yesterday, the last,
Okay.
I think it's the last volume.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it is. Yes, the last one.
You went on vacation?
Yeah, going to Montana on Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah. Have you ever been?
no. What's in Montana?
Magda's cousin, Mordechai Kreitenberg, is partners with Kenny on this heritage retreats, like a Balchuva thing.
Oh,
So they have a cabin there. So they keep saying to come up. So we're going.
but it's a whole program and stuff?
No, I mean, no, we're just going to use it as a base there. They're going to have a group of women there, college women, to get them to become frum, but we're not staying for that. We're just going to use the rooms there.
Interesting.
I'm
So we're
filling
gonna
up
just go,
already.
where do you go? Hiking, parks,
Yeah,
or whatever?
hiking. Yeah, hiking. You're going to Glacier Lake, I guess boating.
Oh, sounds interesting.
Yeah, the weather looks decent too. So
Hello.
Yeah,
I don't know how many bears we're going to see.
yeah, be careful.
Yeah.
You know, you hear all kinds of bear stories.
I know, I know. And the buffalo now, the bison. You see that guy get thrown a few weeks ago? They threw him in the
No,
like a nothing, like a toy.
like in Pamplona, where the
Oh,
bulls are chasing the
exactly.
people, huh?
Are people stupid? I don't get
That's
it.
the Michigas.
It's a mission. It's such a goyish thing, no?
Yeah.
But I think it was organized by the Jews to kill more goyim.
It's a good start.
Where are you going, Harold?
I'm going Sunday to Montana.
Oh,
Yeah.
with
But you were not around for a
with
little bit. For a
No,
little
I
bit.
was back east. We went to Lake George and then went to visiting day in camp, and then I went to New Jersey to be
Oh,
with
wow.
kids. Yeah, so it's been
Yeah. Oh,
gone
it's
two
been a
weeks. Now I'm going again. It's
who
been
are
a
you
while.
going with to Montana with Kenny Alter?
yeah, we're gonna meet him there. Steve Weiss is going and Leah Brenner. They always wanted to go, so they had room there. So I told them to go ahead and book it.
Were you
Oh,
off to Montana?
Yeah, yeah. You
You gonna
been?
you're gonna stay at Kenny.
No, his partner has a place there, like a campgrounds with little cabins there. Rustic, very rustic.
So you're gonna rough it up, Harold.
What's that?
You're gonna rough it up.
Rough it up. There's no bidet. I don't know if I can take it.
And you know this hot house, right?
What's that?
There's a hot house when you gotta do your stuff.
I I checked the weather. The weather's gonna be okay. In Europe, it's been hot in Europe the whole time. Crazy. People are
I
saying
know.
every day is 100 degrees.
You know,
I'm
you know,
sure.
you know what happened to David? David went on this cruise. He was on this cruise, right?
Which
Was
crew? Where?
on a river cruise
Yeah.
on the Danube. So when
Oh,
they came, they couldn't go.
They didn't
why?
go.
no
I had planned.
water, no water in the Danube.
No
No
water.
water.
There's no water.
Wow.
They got stuck in Budapest, right? Bolton?
Right? Yeah, they
So
couldn't.
I had friends on that cruise also.
Oh, crazy. Wow.
They got stuck in Budapest. They couldn't go. They were
Yeah.
supposed
So
to go back to Vienna, so these people ended up living out of Budapest.
Wow.
yeah, you couldn't go back to Vienna. They came from Vienna, I think, to Budapest.
They started in Vienna, right?
Not enough water. The river was too
Yeah,
low.
there's not
River,
enough water.
you couldn't, you know.
It's not deep enough.
Wow.
But they did take him out on smaller boats. They did stuff down on smaller boats.
A smaller boat. Yeah.
Yeah, but David moved to a hotel. He got off the, the river cruise. The rooms are small.
They found that.
Yeah. Hi, Ernie.
They're okay.
Hello, Ernie.
Ernie, before we start, tomorrow,
5:15.
oh,
5:15. Because The rabbi, there's
Rabbi
a
Doctor
Jason Wiener at 6 p.m. I'm going to attend that too.
5:15.
And at 5:50. I'm also going to stay for the Shalosh Shudas because there's a medical kind of symposium or something.
Okay, very good.
With Wiener and
How are they going to manage that in a half hour? We'll see.
Say that again?
How are they going to manage that in a half hour? It's to be seen.
Who's going to manage what in a half hour?
The Shalosh Shudas, it's only a half hour, the Shalosh Shudas.
They didn't allot enough time. Maybe they did. Maybe they put extra time.
All right.
Okay, but our daf will be fine at 5:15.
5:15. Okay.
Yeah. So we're on
105.
Kuf Hey, 105. I know I'm behind in sending the videos, but I will have some time to catch up. I just by the way, Harold.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Susie and I went to the Hollywood Bowl yesterday to see
who?
The Doobie Brothers with Santana.
Oh, that's been very good.
First of all, every seat was taken. The place was jammed.
Well, Carlos Santana must have been amazing.
They were
both.
Really? Wow.
They're
not young.
They're not. They're all in there like close to 80.
Yeah. Wow.
Carlos Santana must be 80 already.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable.
Nice. Very nice.
He has no hair. He wears a hat.
Yeah.
He took off his hat. And
he has no hair?
No, but was nice. They would show on the back video while they're playing something like when when he's in Woodstock playing.
What drugs did you bring? You brought ketamine? What did you bring?
You didn't need to. You smelled it.
But guess what?
And the best, you had all these women, 80-year-old women, long gray hair.
Yeah.
Hippies.
He's 79. He's 79.
79?
It's interesting to see the crowd.
Wow.
Nobody from our
I didn't see anybody members of our tribe.
But only older people, no young people, right?
No.
Wow.
No.
How are the Doobie Brothers?
Unbelievable.
Really?
Great musicians, great singers. They were just, and Santana is very musical.
It's very nice music, very good music.
It was very, very. I would highly recommend it if.
Was there any Mare Sweat? Did they have Mare Sweat?
It was Mare Sweat.
I saw the movie. If anything happened on the way to the forum.
Mare Sweat.
Yeah, Mare Sweat. I know you always talk about that.
Yeah, that was really funny. Buster Keaton.
Yeah, Buster Keaton, yeah. Okay, 105?
105. Yeah. So we're in the sugya of Basar B'Cholov. And we started off saying that if you eat cheese, you have to eat something and rinse your mouth before you eat meat. You don't have to wait any time, but you do have to do, we said, kinuach and hadocha. And the Gemara asks, my mekanech or my medi?
Well, are they cannot be for hard cheese, right?
We'll see. In the Shulchan Aruch already will deal with that. That if it's not so much hard cheese, it's aged cheese.
Okay.
Aged, like Parmesan, something that has a very strong flavor.
Right.
And then you have to wait, almost as if it was eating meat. The din is that if something has hard flavor, then you cannot eat meat right afterwards. You don't have that heter. But most of our cheeses are not like that.
What's the name? This that soft cheese that's very smelly also.
No, Parmesan.
No, the Parmesan is a hard cheese. It is a soft cheese. Camembert, maybe something like that. Those are very strong smell.
No, but
and very strong flavors.
Camembert is soft and it's not.
Yeah, no, Camembert is soft. It's like brie.
Yeah,
that would not be a problem.
But you have that cheese that's like greenish inside also, or bluish inside.
Like Gorgonzola, there are those. Anything that leaves a significant aftertaste would be a problem. And they talk about the aged cheeses, but we're not in halacha lemaisa right now. We have to go into your daya to see those, and we discussed it in Surba. We'll have to. We had this in Surba when we did your day, but we'll review that. But for eating regular cheese, and then you want to eat meat, you need kinuach and hadacha. Now, does that mean if you just eat something and then you don't have to rinse your mouth? Beis Hillel says you have to rinse, but no eating. El Hadam Rav Zera, ein kinuach peh lebepas. Cleaning out your mouth, you need bread. So what? Keman ke Beis Shammai? That we wouldn't paskin like Beis Shammai. Ella. Rather, the Gemara explains the price like this: Beis Shammai oimrim mekaneach v'lo boy mediach. If you eat something, you don't need to rinse your mouth. Ubeis Hillel oimrim af mediach. You have to do both. You have to eat something, and you have to rinse. And then this comes out to be Havile Mikule Beis Shammai Umechomer Beis Hillel. Here, based on this analysis, Beis Hillel is more machmer than Beis Shammai. And if that's the case, it would have been listed in the list of leniencies that were Beis Shammai is more lenient than Beis Hillel, right? Listing Mikule Beis Shammai Umechomer Beis Hillel. So the Gemara rejects that as well. Ella Beis Shammai Oimrim Mekaneach. You have to eat something after eating cheese. V'hu adin lemediach, and he has to do both, and he has to rinse. And Beis Hillel oimri mediach, he rinses, and then he has to eat. V'hu adin lemediach. So they both require both. Mar amarchadu marcha amarchadu v'lo pli. They really don't agree. They don't disagree. They both agree in the ikar adin. They need both. Gufa. We're going to go into something in detail. Amrav Zera. Ein kinuach chapel b'pas. This kinuach, sort of wiping your mouth with eating something, has to be done with bread. Anemili b'dechiti. It has to be wheat bread. Ava b'desari lo, but barley no. Because it's not, it crumbles, and it's not going to be an effective wiper. Even by wheat, it has to be cold. But hot bread will stick to your mouth. That doesn't clean the cheese residue that you want to do. It has to be soft bread. But hard bread is not good because it will crumble. The truth is, you don't have to eat bread. You can eat any food. Levad, mikimcha, flour, tamri, dates, v'yarka, and vegetables, because they're soft, and therefore they won't clean. So the halacha in your day is you have to wash your hands. And you have to eat. My minhag was always to eat a cracker. You eat a solid food, and there's no order. You can wash your hand and then eat something, or you can eat something and then wash your hand. You at least have to check your hands to make sure that there's no pieces of cheese. So if they're not dirty, you don't have to wash it. Boy minei Ravasim Rav Yochanan. This is now how our halacha of 6 hours was derived. Kama yisha ben basar legvina. How much do you have to wait if you've eaten meat and then you want to eat cheese? Armer le v'lo klum. He said you don't have to wait anything. Whereas says Aini, it's not so. V'amar Rav Chizda achal basar asur lechol gvina. If you ate meat, you can't eat cheese afterwards. Because the flavor of the meat's going to be in your mouth. However, gvina mutter lechol basar. If you ate cheese, you can eat meat afterwards, as long as you go through the kinuach and the hadacha that we discussed. Ella, kama yisha ben gvina lebasar. How much do you have to wait between eating cheese and meat? That's when Rabbi Yochanan said, Amar le v'lo klum. you don't have to wait, because dairy does not stay. Now, this is where Johnny says that cheeses that have aged 6 months or more, they're very fatty, their taste linger. The Ramos says it's worthy to be machmir in that. Gufa, Rav Chisda, achol basar asur lechol gvina. If you ate meat, you can't eat cheese afterwards. But if you ate gvina, muter lechol basar. If you ate cheese, you can eat meat afterwards. Arle Ravacha bar Yosef Rav Chisda, basar sheben hashinayim mau. What if you have meat stuck between your teeth? Is that considered meat? So the Gemara says, yeah, kori aleh habasar odenu ben shineim. In the Torah, when it said that Hashem sent Slav, so it said while the meat was still between their teeth, and yet the Torah still calls it basar. So you have to remove that meat between your teeth, even if it's after 6 hours. Amar Mar Ukva. Ana laha milsa chala bar chamer legabi abba. Mar Ukva says, compared to his father, he's like, if his father is wine, he's like vinegar. Dilu abba ki hava achil bisra ha'idna lahava achil gvina ad lamachar ki hashta. His father would wait 24 hours after eating meat until eating cheese. But I don't, if I ate meat at this meal, I wait until the next meal. So that's where it came up 6 hours. Because if you ate at noontime your lunch and dinner was 6 o'clock, that was 6 hours. But the reason, for example, in Northern Europe, where it got dark earlier, people ate early. That's why in Germany, they would only wait 3 hours, because from meal to meal was 3 hours, not 6 hours. And of course, the Dutch. Now, Tosfos learns that what it means here is that you can't eat it in the same meal, but like an hour later you could eat it. And that's the Dutch who will wait 1 hour. It's based on that Tosfos. Okay, I have I'm German, and I was brought up by my mother to wait 3 hours. And it was very interesting because her parents had moved from Poland. They were Belzer Hasidim, but they adopted the German minhag of 3 hours. I believe Mrs. Nagel's parents, the Ehrenfreunds, came from Holland, and they may have waited 1. But of course, she, when married Mr. Nagel, was waiting 6 hours. So you follow what your husband's doing. Okay. Omar Shmuel. Shmuel also said, compared to my father, I'm like vinegar. He would drive around his fields twice a day to make sure that it needs this correction, needs this. I only did it once a day. If you went and checked your assets every day, you would make money. Abai also would go and check his fields every day. One of his people who were working, a sharecropper who earns a certain percent, was trying to steal some wood. Where are you taking this wood? Bring it to your house. Because he got caught in the act. You see, the rabbis told us that we have to check our fields every day. It's to avoid theft. He would also go around once a day, looking at his assets. He never saw that he was making money. There was a leak in one of his irrigation ditches. He stuck his shirt and plugged it, and Ramakola, he called for people to help him. Also, Insi Sachru, people came and helped fix it, which all of his fruits in the field would have been ruined. Oh, I see all the money that Shmuel said we would make. Mayim Rishonim mitzvah. We have to wash our hands before eating bread. That's a mitzvah. Then, v'achronim, mayim achronim, to wash off the salt that's on our hands before you bench, that's even more than a mitzvah. It's an obligation. It's a choiva. Meisvei. Mayim Rishonim v'achronim choiva. Another brisa says the first and last waters are an obligation. And tzoim rishus. Now they used to wash their hands in between courses, but that's not an obligation. It's not a mitzvah. It's not. It was if you want to do, you can do it. So the Gemara and I hear. Initially, we said Mayim Rishonim are a mitzvah. Here it's just calling it choiva. So the Gemara says mitzvah the gabi rishus choiva correlate. In comparison to a rishus, a choiva it can be called a mitzvah. Gufa. Mayim Rishonim v'achronim choiva. First and last waters are obligatory. And tzoim rishus, the washing your hands in between courses is optional. Rishonim noitlin bein bekli bein al gabi karka. When you wash your hands, you could pour the wastewater can be poured into another kli or just on the ground. Achronim ein noitlin el bekli. You have to pour mayim achronim into a kli. That's why we have those special mayim achronim kelim. You're not allowed to pour it on the ground. My binayu. Why is there a difference? Ik binayu kinsa. When you have like wood or chips of wood. According to the version which says you have to do it into a kli, you can't use the wood chips. According to the second version, you could do it over wood chips, not necessarily directly on the ground. We're talking about Mayim Rishonim. Mayim Rishonim noitlin ben b'chamin ben b'tzoyim. Nutilas yadayim can be done with cold or hot water. Achronim ein noitlin el b'tzoyim. Mayim achronim you have to use cold water. Mibnei shechamin mefapin es hayadayim. That remember, after you eat, your hands are fatty, and the chamim are going to make that worse. And it's harder to clean. Again, another brisa says you can do with either hot or cold. So let us behave. You can't, it's got to be under 114 degrees. So yad soletis is where you would dry your hand. You can't use such hot water. Some learn this on the seifa that achronim ein noitlin ela b'tzoyne. My achronim has to be cold. Aval b'chamin lo. You can't use hot water. When we say you can't use hot water, we're talking about very hot. If it's not that hot, noitlin, you can use it. So michlal, the Rishonim afal pisha yad soletis ben mutter. Based on this second version, you could use even yad soletis water from Mayim Rishonim. And then we said emtsoim rishus. The water is in the middle of the dinner. You can choose to do it. That's any dish. But if you're going to eat a meat dish and a cheese, between a cheese and a meat dish, you must wash your hands, like we've been learning regarding the laws of Basar B'Chala. Why is Mayim Achronim obligatory? This is very strong salt that if you rub your eyes, it can cause blindness. So it's a sakana issue. They told you to wash your hands to get rid of that. It's this, even a small amount of salt, you can always find a little bit of this damaging salt. If you measure how much salt you use, there's any salt you need to wash your hand. Why didn't we, when we do Natilas Yadayim, we said you're not supposed to do it to drop it on the floor? Why would Mishum Zuama? Because you're doing Mayim Achronim, you're washing food off your hands. The water that dumps on the floor is going to smell bad, right? But Amar Limar Mishum Deshaya Ruach Ra Alay. It's some kind of tumah. It's like a demon. Ruach Ra. If somebody is eating at a table, you're not supposed to remove something from that table when another person is, let's say, drinking from something. The person eating or drinking is going to be concerned that something's being removed. He's going to choke. But again, it's some kind of evil spirit. It's a demon. It's only when you remove something from a shulchan, don't return it. If you take something off and put it back, then it's not a problem. You took it further than 4 amas from the table. If what you took from the table stays within Abar Amos, it's okay. We're talking about removing something that is needed for the meal, like a piece of, like the bread or the salt. But if you remove something that's not required for the meal, these halachos don't apply. Even a mortar and pestle that are used to grind spices, they didn't remove that because that was needed for the meal. At the end of the meal, we sweep up all the breadcrumbs from under the table. Mishuman kirusa, just for hygiene. It has to do with a marasai. No, it's if you leave crumbs, it's a simon that the person is going to become poor. So we don't, again, it's some kind of evil omen. There's a malach, just like there's a malach hamavis, there's a malach that is sent to people to cause them to become poor. And this malach lavi never could get a handle on this guy because the kazar on Nishra Tuva, he was very careful not to leave crumbs on the ground. Yom echad karach ayakle, the man was eating bread over grass. So this malach said, I'm going to get him. He's not going to be able to get all the crumbs out of the grass. But basar de'ochalai timara. He actually brought a shovel. He dug everything up and threw it all in the river. That he's beaten me. It means he's kicked me out of my house. I have to go to another person. When you have beer, you have foam that goes to the top. There was a minig not to drink that. Mishumi ususa. It was considered disgusting to drink that. But now it causes like secretions of your nasal passages, like you get a cold. If you blow away the foam, you get a headache. If you push the foam away with your hand, you become poor. So how do you get rid of it? You let it sink in and with the regular drink. If your wine has a foam and you drink it and you get a cold, the solution is to drink beer. And if you drank the foam of beer, the shichra, the antidote is maya, is water. The maya less leitakonta, but if you drink foam of water, then there's no solution. Poor follows the poor. Because he didn't have anything else except water to drink, that he must have been poor. People didn't eat vegetables that were tied in a bundle by the person who harvested it. Mishum de Mechzikarov Nanusa. It made him look like a glutton. But no. Witches, when they did spells, you would be susceptible to a spell if you ate that kind of thing. Rav Chizv Rabbi Ravuna Avakazli Barba, they were traveling on a boat. There was a woman there, probably a witch. Usvin Badaichu. She wanted to sit with them, but lo usvi. They didn't put her there. Amra Milsa, so she made a spell. Asartalabra, she prevented the boat from moving. Armu inu Milsa, so they said something like an antidote to the witchcraft, Sharia, and the boat could move. Armalu, my avidlu. I can't get it, you guys. You don't clean yourself after going to the bathroom with a piece of pottery. If that was also made you susceptible to witchcraft. So she sort of raised her hands in exasperation. You don't do that. If you killed lice on your clothing, that was also made you susceptible, but they didn't do that. And you don't eat vegetables from the bundle that was, that the harvester did. So therefore, I didn't get access to you with my spells. People didn't eat vegetables that fell from the table. Mishum yusta, because it was like disgusting to do that. But mishum dekashel reach. Harold is not here, but it says it causes bad breath. People had pipes, drain pipes on their roof, and people didn't sit under there. Mishum shoifchin. Well, people didn't want to get wet with this kind of water. But it was also the demons would hang around there. There were people who carried barrels of wine. They would put it down because they wanted to take a break. Usvi tusi marziva. But the barrel was placed under one of these pipes. And we said there are demons there. And Poka, the demon, caused the barrel to burst. Also coming to Ravashi. So they wanted to get money out of the demon. Afik Shipur Shamte. So Ravashi put him into Cherem. Asla Kamei, the demon went to Marbar Ravashi. Amr Lei, Amai Tavadachi. He asked the demon, why did you break their barrel? Amr Lei, Hechi Ovid Kius Vibunai. I mean, I was sleeping there, and they put it right on top of me. What am I supposed to do? Amr Lei, Ad Beduchta Tishkich Rabbi my buzz. You shouldn't be hanging out where people go. Atu Deshanis, you made a mistake. Zil Shalom, and he required the demon to pay the damage. Amr Lei, Hashtanami Likvili Marzimna Vefra. Okay, he asked for some time to gather the money. Kovale Zimna. So they said, okay, come back in 30 days to pay. Kimata Zimna Iyakiv. He didn't show up. Also Amr Lei, eventually he showed up to court, and Marbravashi, Amai lost his business. Why didn't you come on time? Amr Lei, Kolmila did Sar V'chatim V'chayil, Umani Leslan Rishusa Lamishkumine. Anything that is covered, measured, sealed, or count, So they have no shaykh to that. We have to find something that's hefker. And then it took him time to gather the money that he owed. If you have a pitcher of water, there was a minute people would dump a little bit of the water before they drank from it. Mishum tzifsa. Initially, he thought because there were wood fragments in the water. Again, this has to do with demons. Might be that a demon drank from it and it's harmful to you. There was a demon working, or he was in the house of Rav Papa. So he went to bring water from a river, Yaakov, but he didn't come back right away. They said, why didn't you come back right? I'm waiting. He saw the demons that drank from the water, and he waited until those waters would pass before he gathered more water. Okay. So tomorrow, 5:15.
Okay.